Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Valentina Bonev, who is here on behalf of Breastlink. Well, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Lisa, for having me. How are you doing?
Really good, really good. Nice to see you. Now, I know, of course, well, I'm going to mention it, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is
Right.
great because we always have to remind our viewers it is very important to do your self checks and, of course, mammograms. But with that said, give me a little thought on what you guys are trying to relay to your patients.
October is a really exciting month for me personally as a breast surgeon because, like you said, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it's all about educating the public, making sure people are coming in to get their mammograms, see their doctor as well to do the breast exam. So just getting an annual mammogram isn't enough. It's also getting that breast exam and then explaining to patients how to do a breast exam at home. And we recommend doing that once a month as well.
So the interesting thing about what you just said and what we're going to be talking about is that there's some new regulations that are floating around here from the FDA about breast implants.
Right.
So my question to you first off would be, when you have breast implants, is it different for those who have to do self checks than those who do not?
Honestly, for the patients who have implants, the implant themselves actually push the breast tissue forward. And so it can actually, in some ways, be easier to detect a lump because you have the skin, you have breast tissue that may have a lump, and the implant squishing it all together. So it can actually bring something to prominence. Also, women with implants, they can tell if there's something wrong with the implants, if it feels tight, if they have difficulty moving. So they're able to communicate to their doctor, you know what, things are feeling a little bit different with the implant. Can you take a look? And that will trigger the visit.
Okay, that's interesting. How about now? There's two different ways that you can have an implant. Is you can go under the muscle or above the muscle. Does that make a difference in detecting anything?
Honestly, it's probably about the same in terms of where you put the implant. It depends. Are you getting it for cosmetic reasons, for an augmentation? Are you doing it because you're having reconstruction for a breast cancer surgery? But in both cases, it is pushing the tissue forward.
Okay, that's great news. So let's talk about what happened with the FDA. What are they requiring or what are the recommendations?
So the FDA last month in September released a communication. They have new evidence that there have been reports of cancers that we didn't really know about before in women who had breast implants. So these are actually only a small number of cases, a couple of dozen, but still enough new evidence for the FDA to bring this communication out so women are aware. So these are women who had breast implants placed for augmentation, cosmetic reasons, or reconstruction reasons, like because they had a breast cancer.
Mhm.
And we've known that there are certain type of implants from a specific company that makes textured implants that were recalled a couple of years ago. And that was associated with a special type of lymphoma called anaplastic large cell lymphoma. We now know that there's other lymphomas associated with all the different types of implants. It doesn't matter if it's from a certain company or if they're textured or not. And we've also have evidence that there are women who have squamous cell cancer. So squamous cell cancer, something you see on the skin. This is now being formed in the capsule that surrounds the implant. The capsule is a pocket that forms from inflammation and scar tissue after the surgery, which is common. That is a normal response to the body. But detecting these cancers, this is new. So the FDA wanted to bring that forward to the public so that we are aware as physicians and then patients so that they can decide, well, should I get the implant? What are the risks and benefits? And then should they notice something different or feel something different in the future, they need to come to their doctor and let us know so we can investigate. Is it just some scar tissue or is it actually a lymphoma or a squamous cell carcinoma?
Now, when it comes to you mentioned their doctor. We're talking about their doctor that does
breast exam.
Nearly like their OBGYN, right?
Yeah, it could be their family medicine doctor, their internal medicine, their gynecologist, whoever is doing the breast exam. But they could also be following up with a breast specialist, myself, I'm a breast surgeon, or their plastic surgeon who placed the implants. But some of these women are developing these symptoms years after they've had the implants placed. So they're probably not seeing that plastic surgeon. So as long as they go to whoever their healthcare provider is, so they can trigger that visit and consult if a breast specialist needs to be seen and examine them.
Okay, so now the exam, okay, so if it's in early stages though, the exam may not show up, or you may not be able to detect anything unless you have a mammogram.
Actually, with early stages, it will often present as swelling, pain, even a lump, and that's still early stages.
Okay.
But mammogram or ultrasound can also incidentally pick up swelling that's maybe deeper in the tissue that's not noticeable on exam, and it could be behind the implant. So it can, like you said, be detected on imaging as well.
Okay, good. But they don't necessarily have to have a mammogram. You could potentially find it with an ultrasound.
Right.
Okay. Oh, well, that's really good news. I mean, how unfortunate. I mean, here we have so many people who would like to have breast implants for whatever the reason is that this is happening. Do they know what's causing it? Is it the body rejecting the implants?
It's not clear yet. And again, we only have a few dozen cases. I expect more will be reported in the future as we're more aware of this. But I think what it is a reaction to the implant, which is a foreign body, which is creating a large amount of inflammatory changes within the breast and scar tissue. And then that somehow is now developing into a cancer.
That is wild. I mean, breast implants have been around forever, right? And of course, you hear about some of these cases, and of course, like you mentioned, it's just a hey, this is happening. It's not like all over the world. It's just we've had several cases, and we want to let you know, which is important information for sure. So now those women who may have gone ahead and had implants maybe not too long ago, should they be concerned now?
So what the FDA is recommending is breast awareness. So women who have implants to be aware of this. They're not recommending that you remove the implant. Again, if you feel like something's wrong, or you see something wrong, like one breast is now swollen or there's a lump, go ahead, tell your healthcare provider, and we're going to further investigate it. But it is very rare though. So I don't want patients to panic, but I want them to just be aware.
Excellent. Well, of course, thank you for the information as always. And yes, breast cancer awareness is very important, not just in October, but all of the time.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much. And of course, if anyone has more questions about this, they can always get in touch with radnet.com. We'll be right back.